Hi, and welcome to another Ministry in the Music. How we doing? I haven't been up for a while, been doing some other things. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my sister, Edith, for this shirt, GTL Ministries. Thank you, sis. I love you. All right, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about the major thirds. How to use a major third chord in a progression. You say, well, what is a major third? Well, you know, we've talked on some of the basics of a scale and of a chord, and we're going to get into that. And we're going to play a song. As a matter of fact, the song I was just playing there on the intro, You Can't Beat God's Giving. And if you listen to that, there's that little sound in the middle. Well, we're going to teach you how to do that today. All right, so let's get into it. So, objective, as always, objective of this lesson is to show you how to use some type of chord in a progression. Today is, like I say, it's the major third. And some of the things we're going to talk about, well, we're going to do a quick review, really quick review of some of the things we've taught in our earlier lessons on the scale and how to build a scale and the chords within a scale. We're going to be in the key of C. So if you have questions, go back, look at some of our earlier videos that we've got on the site, and it will break some of these things down for you. Then we'll go into a progression. And the progression we're going to use, this may not make sense now, but hopefully we'll break it down for you. It's going to be a 1, the third major, to a 6, to a 5, to a 4. 1, major third, 6, 5, 4. You'll hear it and you'll catch it. And then we're going to get into the song, You Can't Beat God's Giving. As always, I give my disclaimer. Okay, so you have this desire, you want to play. And like I said, I teach how to play by ear. But whether it's you want to play an instrument or if you want to become a better vocalist, it's going to take diligence. You got to practice. You got to have a commitment. You got to be committed to this thing, to practice and to learn and to seek out and to gain knowledge. So just stick with it and you'll get it. Trust me. All right, so let's get into this. Okay, like I said before, I've talked about the major scale. And like I said, today, as most of my lessons, I do in the key of C because it's relatively easy to do. So if you look at the key of C, the major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you add a number to those, 1 is a C, 2 is a D, 3 is a E, 4 is a F, 5 G, 6 is a A, 7 is a B, and to the C. Like I say, there I have another whole video session that really breaks this piece out even more. So I'm making the assumption that you've already gone out and you've watched that video and you understand this, so that's why we're going to press right ahead. Now, like we said, what we can do now is take that scale and build out chords for each scale. A chord is the 1 to 3 to 5. Okay, so we look at the key of C and the scale of C. We can take that 1, C, if I play a C, D, G, it becomes a chord. So I can take that scale and make a chord out of every note in the scale. So C chord, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, back to a C. So if you look at each within a scale, they all follow a pattern, just like everything in the kingdom of God seems to follow some type of pattern. And this is no different. So in a scale, the 1 is always a major chord. The 2, a minor. The 3 is a minor. The 4 is a major. The 5 is a major. 6 is a major. 7th is a diminished. Okay, and that is good classical background knowledge. So in the key of C, we play the C major. D would be a D minor. E would be an E minor. The F would be a major because the 1, the 4, and the 5 are majors. So the G, which is a 5, would be a major. The A, which is a 6, would be a minor, A minor, and then to the 7th, which is a diminished. And we'll get into diminished on another lesson. Don't worry about it. Just take my word for it right now. Okay? Can you trust me? Can you just do what I asked you to do? I thought you could. Why am I whispering? I don't know. But I'm not whispering anymore. There we go. Whew. Got off on a tangent there, didn't I? All right. Anyway. All right. So now that you've got this kind of classical knowledge, now we're going to break the rules. You said, what? What you talking about, Willis? Yeah, we're going to break the rules. So instead of playing this third chord, the E, as an E minor, we're going to play it as a major. And if you look at on the diagram, you'll see that with E, in its the natural keys, the E, the G would be a G sharp. and then a B. So we're going to use E, G sharp, and a B instead of E, G, B. E, G, B will be an E minor. E, G sharp, B would be the E major. Okay? Got that? E minor, E major. And we're going to show that to you. You know, like I said, here's the minor, E, G, B. But if I go to the major, that G, B, the G is sharp. All right, so you got that? So instead of playing E minor, we're going to use E major. And you get a very distinctive sound when you do that. And that's really what I want to help you as you train yourself to play by ear, is to pick out the sound. Because once you do that, then when you hear a song, you go, I recognize that sound. Now I know how to replicate it. Or if you are a songwriter and you get writer's block and you go, I don't know how to go. By understanding some of these sounds and these progressions, it'll help you learn how to write your own music and go, I want to put this feel, I want to get this type of feel in my song. How do I do that? So that is really the whole essence behind this. All right, so now let's take what we just talked about and translate it into a song. This is an old song. I don't even know who wrote it. I grew up listening to this song back in Stoner Creek AME Church. I just remember the saints back there singing this song, You Can't Beat God's Giving. And you know, it's a lot of truth into that, because this whole thing that he built is built upon giving. He gave his only son. He gave that so that we can have a right to salvation. And in turn, he expects for us to have a spirit of giving. Not to be caught up into the legalistic side of just tithing and I got to write my check for offering. No, but giving. Giving with a whole heart. Giving with a pure heart. So you can't beat God giving. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to do this in the key of C. So it starts out on the 1. You. Yeah, that's how it starts. You. And I'm going to play the E major. K. And now from there we're going to go into the next part of the progression to the 6, which is the A minor. Beat. We're going to go down to the 5, which is the G. God. To the 4, that's an F. Giving. And back to the 1. No matter, to the 5, G, how, and we end on the 1, you try. Now, let's put that together, and this is what it sounds like. There's something I did right there. I also want to just take a little break and teach you about what I call a turn. How do you turn a song so that you can go into the next part? Well, there's a little trick to that. It's pretty simple. Basically, if you see on the sheet up here, what we're going to play, you're going to play the 4th chord, the 4th in the scale, the 4th, and you're going to put the 5th, 5th in the bass. Okay, so the 4th in this would be a what? An F. And now I'll put a 5th, which is the G. That's how you get that sound. It's like a song is turning. I'll play that for you. I'm going to start with No Matter How You Try. No matter how you try. Now the turn. And that takes me right back into the next part. Where's the 1 to C? The more. Here we go to that major 3rd. You give, the more he'll give to you. Now we're going to take it to the 2 on the just. To the 2, which is what? A D minor. Just keep on trusting. And right here, I'm actually going to make that a D major. You know his word is true. Back to the 1. The 3rd again, major 3rd, E major 3rd, K. Where are we going to go? Right back to the 6, which is the A minor. With God's resolve, or we end back on the 1, which is a C. You try. And there you have it. There you have it. How to use that major third to get you a different tone, a different feel. Kind of gives you that what? A little bluesy feel. So you want to get that little jazzy bluesy feel right there. And you know where I've also heard you hear that same sound. Like Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay, sitting in the morning sun, and I'll be sitting. So that's all he did right there. Same thing. He started with a 1, major third, then he went to the 4th. So you hear that sound. Also, there's another song, if I can remember it really quickly. Yesterday, yeah, Mary Mary. They use that. I've had enough heartaches. I had enough headaches. I had my share of ups and downs. So that progression is used in a lot of places. Well, you know, that's about all I have for you today. What I ask you to do, again, always go back, practice, dissect this, listen to it over and over. You got questions? Just hit me up with a comment on my site right here, on my YouTube site, wherever you may be watching this video. And in closing, like I always say, keep practicing, keep praising, just keep believing. Because he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church.